All right, hello everyone. So this is Thursday, so let's take a look. This is gold, and that's your gold for you at Astro Hours yesterday. Okay, Astro Hours here. Market goes up to the weekly pivot, nice and easy. Astro Hours, and I said it after New York. I said when the New York market opens, it's going to push. It'll push into the targets, and that's your target one. Market goes up. It just pushed all the way down, and we're at target two, as you can see right now in there. All right, so it's all good. Came to the targets, no dramas. Okay. On the weekly, we still want to push down. As you can see, the market's coming down. We've got lower targets there all the way down in. What you want to do again is if the market goes up, you don't mind selling off. Okay, so the daily is not a bad spot to sell. Let me just get rid of this. No, it's okay. We can keep that for the moment. So if we go back up again, the daily is okay to sell off. And this is no longer valid. It was yesterday's target. This was yesterday's target, and they're both done. So if you sold off here, you would have been in a lot of money. Okay, and that's all good. Not much else to say. Okay, so the market's going to push down hopefully further. This looks like support. So the first support is 34.30, 19.50, which I said 19.50 is going to be a tricky level. Okay, and I talked about this as well yesterday and the day before. So you should all be okay. This zone, if it breaks down, which it should break down, should take us to that 1920 zone. But first, we're going to stop off there. On the weekly, as you can see, the target is really down. That LCL1 is 1896, right? So we should, pull back into there. If you take a look at the daily, we should get back into there. So this 1896 is very, very logical. Okay, so this is the zone for that. Okay. And plus, not to mention there's a gap here. So gold, 1896, going to be somewhere here. All right. So the market coming down lower is for us an option, but we've talked about it before anyway. So any move up, you can push down. Just be mindful for this 1950. This is a sandwich zone. So between 1950 and 1960, be mindful. Okay, this is your 1960 here. So between 1950 and 60, you're going to have to be careful. As you can see, this is a sandwich zone. Okay. Where else you can sell? Well, the daily pivot is one, obviously. The push for this happened here. So you can take this into consideration here like this. Okay. Worst case scenario, it'll go back up, but there's nothing to go back up to here. It's all pretty clean. So the only thing you can do is can come up into this purple zone here. Worst case scenario, it can go up there, but if we're going to push down, I don't think it'll go up that far because that's a big sell-off yesterday. So, we should push down. And remember, I said Thursday was a swing day, I think, for gold. Was it gold? I said gold was Wednesday and Friday, sorry. Okay, so that's Wednesday. Today we're on a Thursday, so that's your Wednesday swing day. So if Friday is also correct, we're either going to have a high or a low. Okay, if it breaks down, we're going to have a low tomorrow. So selling from the highs is an option. Okay. If it breaks above that, don't stand in front of it trying to sell it because it'll probably go up somewhere. So stay calm. Euro dollar. Now with the euro dollar, this was the target yesterday, as you can see. Once again, touches that 18, 1.08. I said this was the first level. And look how beautiful that is. That is just a classic financial astrology and price. You see how the PST price yesterday I mentioned in the video was right on that line there. Market goes up there at the Astro hour. They sell off and it just comes tumbling down. And I said the market will be pushing. It's just like pushing down into the target. So nothing to worry about at all. So we should come down lower because we've got a bit of a gap here. and coming into this HCL1 zone, 1.0672. Okay, so 1.0672 is about down here. Okay, as you can see, these targets on the daily will change daily. So we've got to make sure we're on top of our game. And on the weekly, as you know, we've got this one here, which is 1.0693. I think we can put that in there now. 1.0693 is there. Okay. So if the market goes up in any way, you can sell. And that's basically what you can sell the high of Asia or the daily pivot. They're both good at Astro hours to sell. US 30, once again, right at the New York session there. That was an Astro hour, as you can see, beautiful push down. And then the market coming down. In the New York session, you could have sold as well. I talked about it. And that was the target. And it made that target nice and easy all the way towards the closure and that 140 time zone I talked about until then. And then the market just sliding along. Now what to do? It's the daily. We've got room. A nice place to sell would be on the goodbye kiss. That's your 37. And that's the 32,894. 32,894. I'm going to just leave it there. 894. There you go. Is your weekly pivot. So if we go up there into an Astro hour, it's sellable to push down again further. On the weekly, you can see we've got room to come down, and that's beautiful. Just push it down. And on the US 30 as well. That's how it is. So let's take a look at SP 500, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. So basically, we're going down still, but sell on the highs. The white line is also okay to sell, guys. If it's an Astro hour, you could do that too. And those are the levels that we've got today for these. Right, so this SP 500. Now, this is yesterday with the SP 500. That was a nice zone, as you can see. The market picked up right there on the Astro hours. Look at that, selling on the white line, buying on the purple zone yesterday. This is the daily pivot for today. And then the market breaks down at the Astro hour, coming all the way in to that 8:15 to 9:20 zone yesterday, going all the way into the 11:30 and the 140s around here, working perfectly with Astro time. And this is like really interesting stuff, as you can see. So what to do with it now? Well, look at that, right on the targets. Beautiful. So right in there, we marked this in yesterday, and look how beautifully it's just worked out. It's nice and easy. Now, this is the weekly. As you can see, we've got a breach here, which is nice. So going back down is what's expected. The market had a sell-off. Where can we sell again? Let's do this. Well, we filled in all the gaps there. We filled in everything there. So what we can really do, if the market goes back into the Asia opening, you can sell around the Asia opening. Okay. The weekly pivot is always going to be there for us. But what you can do today is the Asia high is what you can do. You can like wait for the market to come up to this zone and sell off here as well. So this zone is okay to sell. Asia levels the white line. Okay. Now just be mindful here. Reverse head and shoulders. If it breaks the neckline, I'm just going to do this above the neckline so you can see. Okay. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Okay. If it breaks above that, just be mindful. Okay. Could also be a teacup. If it does, it will go back up here. Okay. So be mindful. But it's worth selling around here. If it pushes down, it's okay. It's a good push up. After the sell-off, it's a good push up. But selling again is definitely on the cards here, because on the daily, on the weekly, we've got room to push down. Okay, so we can come down all the way here. All right. The only thing that's worrying me all the time is the gap, but this was a good place to sell. Okay, so from the highs, I was saying these trend lines are okay to sell at. So I'd still like to sell forward. Maybe with the SP500, you want to take it easy today. The reason is it's done the targets, right? On the daily, it's done the targets. So maybe going back up a little bit and then selling off is not a bad idea. Why? Because this is the daily chart and that's the gap there. So let me just do this. Why you got to look out for this place? If you learn technical analysis from me, you understand by now that you need to look after this place. This is, I mentioned this level yesterday. All right. So be careful for this level. Okay. What I will do, I'll put this in there with the weekly pivot like that. Okay. But this is a level you need to look at. It's not a PST level. It's a technical level, but it is valid. Okay. So be mindful. Because when you sell off here, if it starts to break out, you understand where we're going. NASDAQ. Well, look, with the NASDAQ, same kind of thing. All right. That's your 545. 615 is there. And then those are your hours from yesterday, right? 6 to 6:30, 8:15 to 9:20. That's your 8:15, 9:20. And this is your 6 o'clock. All right, we had 6 o'clock. Here we had, what do we have? This is the 3 o'clock one. Okay, so 3:20, that's the fall off. Okay, and then this is the fall down, and then the market coming to the 8:15, and then we got the 9:20, 8:15 to 9:20 is here, and that's your target zone there. All right, 11:45, and we talked about this zone. Market comes up here, as you can see, nice and easy. Okay, so that's NASDAQ. Now it should fall down again. So what do we want to do? Your first, well, see, that's done most of the targets as well. See, it's very, very volatile, but that's fine. See, that's why I mentioned yesterday. That's the good buy kiss on the weekly. Remember, 63.93, 13.546. And that's a 13.546 right there. And this is where the market took off. See how amazing that PST level works. That's your good buy kiss. Pushing it up there. Now you got a target there. It's like weird. We're in between zones here. I'd be a bit more careful and see what's going on. Your first place of resistance is going to be 13.852 on the daily. 13.852. Anybody who wants to sell, that's your kill zone first of all. All right. So selling at these levels, I'm just going to do this. Is okay to do so. Okay. So that's your first zone there. At Astro Hours, it's doable. Okay, and the next level is going to be that 73, which is 14,068. So if it breaks above there, don't stand in front of it because you got 14,068 here. And on the weekly, you got that, which is 14,316, which I'm not going to bother drawing right now. But this is definitely, possible doable on the cards. Okay, so just be mindful. And on the price, we've got 14,039. So let's get back here. 14,039, which is there. All right. So this zone is still on the cards here. All right. If it breaks above there, don't stand in front of it. Later, it will sell off. Okay. So if we go back up, we'll sell off again as well. All right. But you can see it's done the targets. So I don't want to really muck around with it. So be mindful, like with the SP 500, you could wait around a little bit. This is Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, look, we've come to those targets, as you can see, nice and easy. So we've talked about them. Okay. The market came into those targets. I said it would come into those targets. And as you can see yesterday, the New York session was at 3 o'clock before New York opens. That's your level there. And the market just banged down right in there. Okay. As you can see, that is your 7:30. We had what, 6 o'clock, did we? There's your 5:50. There's your 6 o'clock right there. Okay, so it made the low. It's all good. It's coming into the target, so nothing really to worry about. Okay, and if you've been selling it, you're fine. Nice break on the weekly, so we should sizzle down into that 22,500 and so on. Obviously, it's going to wave down. Okay, so be mindful for the low of yesterday, or sorry, the low of this day and the low of yesterday, obviously, but it should break down. Okay, obviously it can wave and break down, which is what we're always saying. So if it goes up to that 39 goodbye kiss, that's 29,500. 29,500 is the first place to be selling, which is pretty much, well, wait a minute, 29 or 26? 39, 26,500. 26,500, which is there. All right, I can now get pretty well. I'll keep that there for the moment. 26,500, but this is again the daily pivot. This zone is going to be a sell zone. If the market comes into the astro hours, it'll like crash down. I said there'd be a pushy move yesterday, and that's like bang, straight in there. So with Bitcoin, as the market goes back up into that zone or where it fell off here, okay, the weekly is always going to be there, like I always say. This zone here, okay, is also doable. Okay, if the market comes up at astro hours, you could look for selling around here, and that's also fine. Right, I hope that helps. Have a good one.